Also gotta, like, if you just look on record, this is where it gets crazy. If you just look on record of accomplishments against champions, you kind of have to put Alex Pereira already in the conversation of potential greatest of all time.
You got how scary you look in the crowd. You got that big deafness, bro. I looked at you and I was like, damn, I'm scared. My man, let's go, dog. I'm so happy here.
Joe Rogan started a new debate when he said that Alex Pereira was the best fighter of all time. In the explosive showdown, Pereira is getting ready to fight Sean Strickland in one of the most awaited fights in UFC history.
That guy's unbelievable watching him.
He's a fucking monster, dude.
He's a
monster.
force.
He's a force. What he did to Khalil Roundtree was a clinic.
Khalil's amazing,
He's
too.
amazing. To do that to a guy like Khalil, like, that was a clinic in, like, elite world-class MMA.
And at first, the first 2 rounds, you're like, what is this like? What's going on?
Yeah.
Khalil's in it. They're both in it. But then you start to see that Pereira's hunting. It's like this hunting.
Yeah, the pressure never ends.
By calling Pereira the GOAT, Rogan praised his dominance, excellent fighting style, and knockout power, which have made him stand out in the middleweight class. Rogan sees Pereira as one of the most talented and dangerous fighters in UFC history.
So he's standing in front of you, and when he kicks, there's no movement of his shoulders. He's just throwing these kicks out, and they land. And they're not as hard as if he put his whole body into it, but it's hard enough where you're like, oh no. And you get hit with a couple of those, 3, 4, 5 of those, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't walk anymore, and now he's hunting you, and he's hunting you. See, I would put him already in the conversation. I don't think he's better than John Jones, greatest of all time, but I already put him in the conversation as a potential greatest of all time nominee.
Joe Rogan recently praised Alex Pereira for his lightning-fast reflexes and unique fighting style, saying that these traits make him stand out in the UFC. Rogan says that Pereira's ability to close the distance quickly and land powerful strikes is a key part of his dominance inside the octagon, and that his style continues to make him one of the most dangerous and entertaining fighters in the sport today.
He moves like a snake, like he pulls back and then he strikes forward, he pulls back. He's a master at just getting right outside of your shots, and then his shots are coming in right behind him.
And he operates at his own speed. He's almost like Alvin Kamara is a football player that does that. He operates at it's a speed you've never seen. It looks normal, but it's different.
Well, it varies a lot too. Like sometimes it moves fast and sometimes it moves slow. It's very hypnotic.
Yes, it's hypnotic.
It's also unique. He's got a unique frame, so he moves different on design. Like he doesn't switch his hips when he throws kicks.
Sean Strickland made fun of Alex Pereira by saying, "If I touch him, he will die." His comments were a clear jab at Pereira's reputation for devastating knockout power and at Strickland's confidence in his own striking abilities. Pereira is known for being fearless and often brash. Strickland's words are sure to stir up the pot and make the rivalry between the two fighters even stronger.
Here's the thing, you guys, about Alex. I could spar Alex, and I could go point for point, and I could hit him, I could kick him.
Strickland rematches middleweight champ Dricus Dupes in February 8 headliner at Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. Extreme Couture head coach Eric Nishi revealed that Strickland's former opponent, UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, will corner him for his title fight. Pereira knocked out Strickland in the first round at UFC 276, but the pair have since linked up and trained together. Nick Six stated, "We will have Alex Pereira in the corner, so dropping the news right now. He's a good friend of Sean. He's a great training partner. Obviously these guys have fought, but after the fight I think it takes a man to go and learn from the guy who caught you with something." Speaking about their strong bond and past training experience, Nishi highlighted how Strickland helped Pereira prepare for Khalil Roundtree, and now Pereira is returning the favor. He expressed these guys trained with each other a ton. Sean went up there to help him get ready for Khalil Roundtree, and I love having him, man. It's great energy. So we just talked yesterday, we were going to have the fourth and it was going to be Alex, so I can't wait to have him. Strickland will attempt to regain his middleweight title from Dupey, who dethroned him by a split decision in a closely contested battle at UFC 297 last January.
This to me tells me that Pereira and Strickland are building a relationship that's very strong. Why? Because we already know that Alex Pereira has a fight on the books, Las Vegas, UFC 313. Alex Pereira is going to be fighting a guy who could be his most formidable opponent because of the style. But what we also have to take into effect is that Pereira feels that his relationship with Strickland is so strong that he's willing to travel across the world.
Daniel Cormier said that Alex Pereira is taking a big risk by surrounding Sean Strickland before his own fight at UFC 313, DC. Pereira has a huge challenge ahead of him, probably his toughest opponent yet, but he is willing to fly around the world to be with Strickland.
It seems dangerous. It seems risky for Alex, knowing everything that goes into a training camp and how hard that travel can be on your body. Trust me, guys, it is a risk.
Cormier warned that this kind of travel can be physically draining and could hurt Pereira's training camp. The time zone changes, jet lag, and general tiredness could make it harder for him to prepare for UFC 313. However, DC knows that Pereira has shown over and over again that his approach works.
Now, one thing I won't do is question Alex. I'm done. Because he has proven it time and time again that whatever he is doing is right. Yes, he is one of the greatest fighters of all time in the shortest amount of time I have ever seen anyone build a legacy that is that strong, or a resume that is that strong. This dude's the man. And if he gets through this next challenge, I'm going on the record and saying that light heavyweight is going to have a Peloton problem for a really long time.
DC stated that if Pereira wins his next fight, the light heavyweight division will have a big problem for a long time, implying that Pereira's dominance could continue for years. Alex Pereira has not entered the octagon since last October when he defeated Kil Holloway Jr. via 4th round TKO to defend his light heavyweight title for the third time in a 6-month span, while he is set to return against Magod and KV at UFC 313 in March. He will be on hand at UFC 312 to corner Shah Strickland as he looks to dethrone Drus Dupas for the middleweight title. Pereira and Strickland faced one another back at UFC 276 in 2022. Patton was able to win the bout via first-round knockout, propelling him to a title opportunity. Alex Pereira's coach reveals he could fight every month at light heavyweight. Alex Pereira is set to make his return to the octagon in March as he looks to defend his light heavyweight title for the 4th time when he faces Magod Anali at UFC 313. His coach Pleno Cruz recently revealed that Payton could compete every month in his current weight class. Speaking to the media, Cruz stated, "For me, I think it's better. He's 37 years old. He's in his prime. He's a kickboxer. At first he's used to fighting on the regular. I'd rather him fight more often than have big gaps because I want his body and his mind to stay used to the adrenaline, the competition. I want him to be at a constant fight pace. It's been 5 months since the last one. The weight that he is now, with his weight cut, he could fight every month." Pereira was very active in 2024, defending his title 3 times in a 6-month period. Despite his activity and his background as a kickboxer, it is difficult to envision him competing every month. Always controversial in his statements and positions, Sean Strickland has become for some time now one of the most divided figures in the world of current fights.
I'm not scared of Alex. But the problem is, my chin will just go, I'll go to sleep. Like, it's a weird thing when you fight Alex, because you're just like, for me to knock Alex out, he has to do something really stupid. Like, he has to do like when it gets dizzy. Like, if you gave me one free shot, and you said, give everything I can, I'm not knocking him out. But you do that to Alex, everybody on the roster is going to sleep. Because I feel like me and Alex, kickboxing, we go toe-to-toe. But I just know that no matter what the I do, he's going to eat it. And if he just touches me one good one, good night.
As bizarre as it sounds, that is the truth. Alex Pereira, the Stoic, has become really good friends with the American fighter, so much so that he has a surprise planned for fans at UFC 312. During an interview with the Schmo, Eric Nishi, the head coach at Extreme Couture Mixed Martial Arts, revealed that Strickland, who is one of the fighters from their gym, will have a special guest at his corner against Drus Dupas, much to the excitement of the fans. It will be the light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. He said, "We will have Alex Pereira in the corner. Drop the news right now. He's a good friend of Shah's. He's a great training partner. Obviously these guys have but after the fight, I think it takes a man to go and learn from the guy who caught you with something." He further added that despite having fought in the past at UFC 276 back in 2022, Tarzan helped Pereira train for his fight against Kil Holloway Jr., so the Brazilian is making sure that he too proves his friendship by being in Strickland's corner. These guys trained with each other a ton. Sean went up there to help him get ready for Kill ROI, and I love having him, man. It's great energy. So we just talked yesterday. We were going to have the fourth and it was going to be Alex, so I can't wait to have him. Dricus Dupes has a lot to worry about now. After all, Eaton is one of the greatest fighters of this generation, and he surely would be providing Tarzan with some invaluable tips, so it wouldn't be a surprise if we saw Sean Strickland get the upper hand at UFC 312. One of them is none other than his former rival Israel Adesanya. Sean Strickland is known for his intense training regimen, pushing his body to the limit as he prepares for his upcoming fights. His training is all about grit, toughness and relentless pressure, reflecting his noon style inside the octagon. Strickland focuses on sharpening his striking, improving his conditioning and maintaining a strong mental edge.
You do.
Fucking